So Battlefield 6 coming out with the early access on the 7th of August all the way through to the 10th when the open beta is here. I'm going to be showing you some of the custom settings that I've set up ready for when this launches. So before I start, if you do like the video, please leave a like. Let me know in the comments down below if you are going to pre-order Battlefield 6 or if you are going to be playing the open beta and which class you actually run around with. And if you want more content on Battlefield 6, feel free to subscribe to let me know that you want more content on this game. So to start off, when it comes to the accessibility settings, pretty much master volume you can keep up, but you can turn it down. Completely up to you though. Same again, tinnitus, special effects volume and the pitch. You can kind of do what you want with those. When it comes to color presets, obviously if you are colorblind, I would recommend changing these. I will be keeping mine on default just because it's easier for myself. When it comes to my brightness, I've upped mine to 60 opposed to it being on the standard 50 just because it does help in the dark areas of the map or in buildings. When it comes to camera effects, I highly recommend turning world motion blur down to 0 from 100, weapon motion blur down to 0. I would turn off the HUD physics movement because you don't need your HUD moving. Keep it stable because it helps. Camera shake, put that down to 20. You don't need camera shaking, especially when there's bombs and missiles going off and grenades. It's just going to make your life a living hell, especially when you're trying to shoot someone. The chromatic aberration is your lighting reflections. I've turned it off because I don't see the point in it really. I don't think it benefits the gameplay and it's not going to make you get more kills or perform better. And the crosshair projection, keep it on. When it comes to your controls, what I've done is I've turned infantry sprint on to toggle, but I've put it so it auto sprints. This just means instead of having to double tap your left stick to push forward or to click it in, they will just automatically run when you're moving your character. Crouch toggle sprint, just leave as it is. Crouch slide I've left on all. The majority of these I've kept on the standard setting. I haven't really changed any because I don't feel the need to. The main one that I would recommend keeping the same would be prioritize and reload opposed to interacting with stuff, because 9 times out of 10, if you're in a building and you're mid gunfight, you're going to want to reload instead of interacting with a door and so forth. When it comes to controller vibrations, I've turned mine off. I'm not a big fan of the controller vibration in game. It kind of puts me off. If you do play with it on, you can change the intensity, but that's completely down to personal preference again. When it comes to tutorials, I've kept the menu tutorials on and so forth just because it gets you used to it, especially if you're a new player to the game of Battlefield. It's probably recommended that you do keep them on because it will help. When it comes to hints, I would keep all of it on just because it will help knowing on where you can mount your weapons, where you can vault and jump over. Pinging your enemies, obviously it will tell you to ping those. Very beneficial, especially if you're in a party or you've got teammates around you wanting to know where the enemies are. When it comes to the gameplay settings, I've made sure that invert or vertical look is off just because I don't need up is down, down is up and so forth. I just need it to be standard that wherever I move my right analog stick, that is where I'm going to be looking. Same again, vertical look settings, everything's just completely off. Hold and toggle, you can modify those, but I just leave them as default. When it comes to the capture area outline, I would recommend keeping this on. So if you're trying to capture a flag, it'll tell you the zone that you have to be in on your HUD, opposed to if you stood outside it, then you wouldn't be capturing it. This one's very, very personal, opinionated. When it comes to the aim sensitivity, you won't know too much until you actually try the game. But if you go off, if you played a previous Battlefield or 2042, I would try and recommend trying to put your sensitivity to the exact same so it feels second nature to you. So with mine, I've put my aim sensitivity to 42.5 because I play with a controller. Obviously if you play mouse and keyboard, then obviously you're going to tailor that one instead. Same again, the double tap forward sprint, so when I push my left analog stick forward, it's just going to go into an automatic sprint opposed to it being a little jog. Same again, all the rest of the settings in here for the gameplay I have kept the exact same. I haven't changed anything or touched anything. When it comes to your driving, same again, vehicle aim sensitivities if you're using a gunner on a chopper or in a tank and so forth, how quick it turns. I've put mine to 33, but same again, it's personal preference. It'll probably need to go up, but until I play the game I won't know. And same again, all the rest of the settings are the exact same. I haven't changed any. When it comes to aim assist, keep these on 100, especially if you play controller. I don't see why you'd want to give yourself less aim assist, especially if you're going to be playing cross-play against mouse and key players. Having the aim assist is going to be beneficial in the long run. When it comes to your controller settings, I do play with a scuff controller, so I've mapped my own buttons to when I played Call of Duty. However, I keep it all on default, so I don't actually change anything in this. When it comes to your graphics settings, I would keep the performance preset on balance just because it gives you the more stable frame rate, and also lower visual quality will allow you to have better frames per second, especially on console. If you are on PC, depending on what your graphics card is and your processor, I'd highly recommend tailoring it to your performance, because I believe on PC, if you've got a good enough, will still probably run about over 200 frames per second. Field of view, I've moved from 90 to 108, so it has gone to how Call of Duty does it, from 90 to 120, opposed to, I believe, on Battlefield 2042 it was from 70 to 100 or 110. So I've put that to 180. In Vehicle 1 I've moved up to 80. Show HUD you want to keep on, the HUD motion keep off, everything else I've kept the exact same. So music volume I have turned down to 50 opposed to it being on 100, just for the sheer fact I don't need the music blaring in my ear, especially if it's in game or in a menu. The sound effects and master volume is the ones that you want to keep on 100. The rest is still personal preference. So with system I do play with crossplay on. If I was to run into a fair amount of cheaters, then I would probably change it to crossplay off if PlayStation servers were getting enough players. However, I know they've got the Javelin anti-cheat, which should do the job anyway, and it's going to be a lot better than what Call of Duty's anti-cheat is. Streamers and creators, you can put streamer mode on. What this does is it just hides your gamer tag and so forth, so you aren't going to get spammed or abused and stuff like that. Same as the anonymous mode. Obviously I'm going to keep mine off because it's not something that I really feel like I need. When it comes to the minimap, same again, I've kept the minimap size 100 because you want it to be the biggest that it can be, so then you can see where your opponents are. So the icon intensity I have raised up to 70. Same again, you can alter it if needs be, still all personal preference. Let me know if you are going to pre-order the game, and I'll catch you in the next one.